Mercy is the compassionate, even preferential care for the other, especially those most in need. Shortly after I had arrived at my first parish assignment, 25 years old and newly ordained, my first pastor called me into his office to see how I was adjusting to this new way of living my life. Among his many concerned questions was what I was doing to pray in the busy, often distracting environment of a large parish. I admitted that while I was keeping my promise to pray the Liturgy of the Hours, the daily prayers that a priest is obliged to pray for the Church, I had not yet found a rhythm or even a method for my personal prayer life as a parish priest. Several months later, and even with spiritual direction, still somewhat unsuccessful at personal prayer life, he asked me if, as a beginning, I would like to know how he prayed. He went to his desk and picked up his calendar. He told me that that calendar was his prayer book. Every morning he would begin his day by praying for every appointment, funeral, meeting, wedding rehearsal, classroom visit, sick call, dinner out, listed in his calendar for that day. At the end of the day, again using the calendar, he would reflect on God's presence in the hours of that day, try to listen to what God might be urging, and thank God for the gift of those hours and the people who filled them. It is a method with some variations that I use to this day. Those meetings with my first pastor come to mind because each of us, in whatever walk of life we find ourselves, must learn a way to pray every day for all those God has placed in our lives and those who have gone before us on whose shoulders we stand. This is because we know that prayer is our best help, that it is the key to becoming saints, as we are all called to do, and is what puts Christ first in our lives and strengthens our relationship with Christ and others. That is why it is a spiritual work of mercy to pray for the living and the dead. Along with our personal prayer, our church helps us practice this spiritual work of mercy as well. Every weekend in every Catholic parish, one Mass is celebrated for the living and deceased members of that parish. Attending All Saints' Day, a holy day of obligation, and All Souls' Day Masses on November 1st and 2nd fulfill this spiritual work of mercy as well. Clearly, this kind of prayer is the medicine of mercy too. And so this is the last of the reflections on the corporal and spiritual works of mercy. Soon it will be Sunday, November 20th, 2016, the solemnity of our Lord Jesus Christ, King of the universe. This annual celebration is to remind us that Christ is always to be the King, first in our lives. This year, however, in Rome and around the world, it also marks the end of the Holy Year of Mercy, and the holy doors will be closed. But it does not mark the end of the practice of mercy, and the opportunities to do so remain wide open. In a sense, this year we all went to school for 12 months to learn about mercy and its practice. And when we graduate on November 20th, the work only begins.